This week we're going to take a look at the breaststroke and butterfly turn and a trend that we've been seeing in our evaluations. We've done some recent new series online that talk about the turn and especially the engagement with the turning hand, or in this case the left hand. And what we've been noticing on some of the evaluations is that there's more coaches that are starting to teach the staggered hand touch or the lower hand touch. So we want to take a look at this because there's been some things that we've seen in the evaluations that do make a difference and are important for swimmers. Now, the first thing is that the engagement of the left hand, making sure that you're not in connection with the wall too long, is going to make a big difference both on the speed of the turn and the direction that you go off the wall. If the hand is connected to the wall for too long, then inevitably the swimmer's body will go up and the tuck is not as tight as it can be, and so the turn is a little slower. So while this hand is engaged with the wall, he does get the hand off fairly quickly, and so the hand does slide off fairly quickly. We'd maybe like to see that even a little bit faster with a little bit less engagement, but for the most part, it's a pretty solid turn. So with the staggered hand lower, the thought process here is that with no engagement with the left hand on the wall, there would be very little chance that the body's going to go upward, and at the same time the hand is already down and partially through the recovery of the turn. So the hand comes in and gets off right away. So now here's where it gets tricky. If we look at even at this turn, if we played at full speed, well, this is actually half speed, but if we play it, what you're going to notice is that it looks pretty good. But when we go for a complete stop, we notice that when this hand touches the wall, when we look up at the other hand, it has not touched the wall yet, or it has not touched the wall yet. So in this particular instance, when it goes fast, we're going to show it full speed a little bit later. When it goes fast, there's no way an official is going to be able to see this. However, it is an illegal turn. This is a non-simultaneous touch. So when we asked our athlete to pick up the pace a little bit, the faster he went, the further away or the less consistent the hand touch got. And so we really started to see the non-simultaneous touch. And this is something that an official is definitely going to catch, and the athlete is going to be disqualified. Then we had to go a fast turn, and we did notice that it gets further and further away. So you have to be very careful of not doing a non-simultaneous touch. And so we're going to look at these one more time. If we let these, there's 4 turns, if we let them play through on their own, you're going to notice that it's going to be very tough to tell in the first 2 that it was an illegal touch. On the 3rd and the 4th one, it definitely is an illegal touch. So we want to look at the fastest 2 turns, which was the 4th one, which this one is completely illegal, and the first one that we showed, which is also completely legal, but coaches may not want that. So we're going to compare the 2 of them and see which one's faster. And this is what we talked about in a whole other series that we put together, that once the hands make connection on the wall, once the hands are on the wall, these sorts of things don't make any difference. The connection with the wall, the leverage that the athlete gets from the wall, will mean that the body is going to spin just as fast no matter what you do with these hands, no matter if you go straight over, if you go around. The engagement with the wall is very important, and the turning hand has to get off the wall as fast as possible. So we tried to get it on first touch here, as close as we can. And when we look through the turn, we notice that the hand release on both of these instances are pretty much exactly the same. And then the foot touch to the wall is pretty darn close. And then the push off or leaving the wall is what we said before, is pretty much exactly the same. So the question here is really, is the risk of a non-simultaneous touch worth the advantage that you think you're getting? And from what we're seeing, there's no advantage anyway, so there's certainly no sense in taking the risk of what would be a non-simultaneous touch. That's just what we see, and so this is the way we teach, is to make sure that people are as legal as possible, but everybody can do what they think is best, which is what makes everything great.